What's going on, guys? Your boy is finally back on the YouTube grind. It really has been too long, but for the next 6 Thursdays at 9 a.m. I am going to be uploading videos. Check out the community tab if you want to see exactly what I'm going to be uploading. Today we're covering Armed Dragon Catapult Cannon Turbo, a deck that very much took me by surprise. I thought this was going to be a total meme and just be a brick fest, but it's honestly one of the most consistent decks I've ever played, and it gets to play some of the craziest board breakers in the game without it conflicting with the engine. Before I get into the card by card, make sure you leave a like and subscribe if you haven't already. It really helps out the channel a ton, and I cover a lot of CHAZZ and Yu-Gi-Oh related content. So without further ado, let's get into it. Starting this profile off, we have our starter cards, the Ojama Blue at 3 copies. Very mandatory because Ojama Blue is your 1-card combo. You're going to want to go second with this deck because that makes Catapult Cannon's effect more devastating, but also it makes Ojama Blue a 1-card combo because all you have to do is destroy this guy by battle by crashing into your opponent's monster, and he's always going to die because he has 0 attack. Once he's destroyed by battle, you search for 2 Ojama cards and add them from your deck to your hand. And we also have 3 copies of Rescue Cat to make this more consistent, because Rescue Cat tributes itself to special summon 2 Ojama Blues from your deck, and those Ojama Blues might have their effects negated, but it doesn't matter because its effect resolves in the graveyard. So when you crash your Ojama Blue by battle, it is still going to resolve, and you're going to be able to do your whole Armed Dragon Catapult Cannon combo. The rest of our Ojama lineup is going to be 2 copies of Ojama Green, 2 copies of Ojama Black, and 2 copies of Ojama Yellow, as well as 1 copy of Ojama Red. So the reason we play 2 of each of the vanillas is because in order to finish your combo, you need to resolve Ojamagic, and that can only resolve if all 3 Ojamas are in your deck at the same time. Because if you drew a single one, you were only playing 1 of each, it wouldn't resolve and your whole combo is completely dead. So you need to make sure that you always have 1 of each in your deck, and even if you draw 2 of the same one, that means you drew enough Ojamas where you didn't even need Ojamagic in the first place. The 1 red is just for the ability to special out all of your Ojamas before committing to your Catapult Cannon, so that way you can make a 4 material Apollousa. Now the Apollousa part of the combo isn't part of the 1-card combo, it's a 2-card combo, or if you just open Rescue Cat, I believe you have enough gas to do it, but it's still just really helpful to have. That way you don't just insta-lose to hand traps like Nibiru. Of course, we got my favorite part of the deck, the Armed Dragons. I'm playing 1 copy of Thunder level 3, 2 copies of 5, 2 copies of 7, and the single copy of level 10, who is way too shiny right now. Let me, there we go. So the reason I went with the 1-2-2-1 ratio, why I'm even playing level 10 in the first place, well, first of all, level 10 gives your end board even more interruption, and while that might seem win more, it does protect you from being hit with a Mystic Mine because it has a quick effect to destroy a card and then gain 1000 attack, plus it helps you close games faster. You only need 1 Thunder level 3 because if you're playing Prosperity like I am, you're not going to draw a lot, and if you do want the draw effect, if you didn't see Prosperity in your starting hand, you can always recur him from the grave with your spells. 5 and 7 are at 2 simply because I want to search with them to keep my hand replenished, but at the same time, I also want to have 1 from the deck to special summon. Also, of course, very important note, level 7 can be in the graveyard in order to fuse into your Catapult Cannon. All Armed Dragon Thunders are treated as their original counterparts while on the field or in the graveyard because that's just part of their effect. You already know we have to play a bunch of mandatory bricks in order to summon out Catapult Cannon, so here they are: V Tiger Jet, W Wing Catapult, X Head Cannon, Y Dragon Head, and Z Metal Tank. These guys do literally nothing for you except for being a part of your combo. However, their one redeeming quality is that some of them are normal monsters, X Head Cannon and V Tiger Jet specifically, and you can combo with them and the Ojamas. And on top of that, you can special summon them from the graveyard with your Ojama spells, so you can actually use them as discard fodder, which is pretty nice for the deck, but they aren't going to do anything like the ABC monsters. Moving on to the spells, we got 3 copies of Ojamatch, arguably the best card in the deck, 2 copies of Ojamassimilation, they're just face down cards because I had to proxy them, and then 1 copy of Ojamagic. So Ojamatch is integral to the combo, but it can also be a starter or a way to push through hand traps like Ash Blossom, so that's why you want to max out on it. It's a non-once per turn quick play that says you can discard an Ojama to add another one and an Armed Dragon from deck or grave to hand, and then immediately after normal summon it on top of your regular normal summon. And you're going to combo off with this in the battle phase and search for it with Ojama Blue, but like I said, it can help you out in your starting hand, so definitely max out on it. You have the 2 simulations just to special summon your XYZs and then your VWs, and both of these cards have secondary effects where you can shuffle back banished Ojamas in order to draw 1 card. So if you don't happen to activate Prosperity that turn, you will get a ton of card advantage from all the draw power from both of those cards. And then of course the 1 Ojamagic is just to get your green, black, and yellow to your hand from your deck once it is sent to the graveyard, which is why again we're playing 2 copies of each of the vanillas. We're playing a single Armed Dragon spell, and that is Armed Dragon Lightning. This is searchable off Thunder level 7's Grave effect, and it's going to protect your Armed Dragons, including your Catapult Cannon, from being destroyed by card effects, which is pretty important when Mirror Jade is running around everywhere at locals. It can also add back Armed Dragons from your graveyard or boost your Armed Dragon's attack, so there's a lot of utility in it, and I think it's worth the 1 of. While this deck is super consistent and everything's a 1-card combo, you're still going second and you have to be prepared for that. So we're playing 3 copies of Forbidden Droplet in the main and 3 copies of Dark Ruler No More in the main. These are just going to negate everything your opponent has and they can't respond to it. By far the best going second cards in the game right now. And we can afford to discard our entire hand with Forbidden Droplet because everything's recurable in this deck, which is pretty insane. And while we're likely to draw 1 of these plus a starter, I wanted to make it even more consistent, so I am playing the 3 copies of Pot of Prosperity just to excavate the top 6 cards of my deck and just add whatever I'm missing, whether it be a board breaker, an extender, or Ojama Blue. Going on to the extra deck, of course, we have the man himself, Armed Dragon Catapult Cannon. This is what our entire deck is based around, summoning this guy. You summon him by banishing an Armed Dragon level 7 and a VWXYZ-Dragon Catapult. Oh my god, that is a mouthful. You know what I mean. You banish those 2 monsters from your field or grave after you summon them. Specifically, you have to summon them. That's why we can't cheese anything with like Gale Doggerah or whatever. And he has the quick effect during your opponent's turn to banish everything on the field and in the graveyard, and then your opponent can't activate anything that has the same name as their banish pile, so that's pretty ridiculous. In order to get to him, of course, you have, I'm not saying that name again, you already know what it is. It's going to banish something on the way to going in the Catapult, so it gets rid of something that might have a quick effect interruption for your Catapult Cannon, which is really nice. Same thing with XYZ-Dragon Cannon. XYZ-Dragon Cannon is just a non-once per turn destruction card. You can keep popping their entire field if you wanted to, but usually I just get rid of back row and whatever's threatening me with quick effects. And then we have probably the worst card I've ever read in my entire life, VW Tiger Catapult. Don't even bother with its effect, it's just something that you have to summon. I have a small XYZ package as a desperation play in case my Ojamas are breaking really bad. If I can get 2 of them on the field, I can make Sky Cavalry attack because it can't be destroyed by battle, and then go into Downerd in main phase 2, and then overlay all of that into Zeus to send everything to grave twice. We have a bunch of generic link monsters to summon with our Ojama Red play, which I'll show you guys all of those combos in a second. I'm playing the double Link Spider in order to special summon normal monsters from our hand, considering half our deck is just normal monsters. 1 IP Masquerena can be a potential interruption during our opponent's turn, and it can make your Link monsters indestructible. 1 Knightmare Phoenix, Knightmare Cerberus, and Knightmare Unicorn to deal with the appropriate situations. You never know when they might come up. The most important one though is Apollousa, Bow of the Goddess, just making monster negates before getting hit by a fat Nibiru token. And then we have the Accesscode Talker just in case you want to blow stuff up. I will say Accesscode is very, very much not mandatory since you're going to go into XYZ-Dragon Cannon anyway, so you could cut him if you wanted to. The trickiest part about this deck is playing it in a best of 3 environment, and that's where the side deck comes in. So if our opponent's going to be a smartass and just set monsters in defense position so we can't crash Ojama Blue, I'm playing 3 Gamma Seal the Sea Turtle Kaiju. You don't need to play Godarla because that's extra damage you don't want to take because you're going to crash blue over and over again. But also, I would never side Kaijus into Floowandereeze, so there's really no point in playing Godarla. I'm playing Artifact Scythe, which you can, if you draw into Scythe, you can actually pop it with under level 10. And Artifact Lancia, which duos as a hand trap, but we're summoning these with Artifact Sanctum, so if our opponent forces us to go first, we have an alternate win condition. To make this more consistent, I'm also playing 3 copies of Trap Trick in order to banish an Artifact Sanctum and set another one directly from our deck. But yeah, these are just going to summon your Lancia or your Scythe. These are floodgates that can just win you the entire duel on its own. And the reason I'm playing these over other cards that we could potentially play going first is just because I want my opponent to attempt to play Yu-Gi-Oh! I want them to at least normal summon something, so that way I have something to crash into blue with. And then I'm playing some back row hate just in case, 3 Twin Twisters and 1 Feather Duster, because honestly, this deck's back row matchup is pretty miserable. Alright, I got some replays for you guys. This game was against Zombie World. Honestly, we both opened pretty damn well. He has an extender, he's got a starter. I have an extender, I have my starter. It's looking like a nice back and forth game of Yu-Gi-Oh! Just kidding, it's Yu-Gi-Oh! I know I've won with my starting hand, because all I need to draw is a different Ojama name or a board breaker, and then I can search for whatever I'm missing with Pot of Prosperity. So I feel pretty comfortable right here. Now I feel less comfortable now that I'm looking at a Dagda. Locking me out of the extra deck would be really bad, but I top deck one of my 6 board breakers, so that's really nice. I'm just gonna hit him with the Dark Ruler no more, taking advantage of that turn player priority before Hulk can trigger the Dagda. And then we're gonna search for our next Ojama name so I can pitch it with Ojamatch to add another blue. We're gonna normal summon the blue that we have in hand already. We're gonna crash it. The first thing we always search is Ojamagic and Ojamatch, because I can now discard the magic to search for another copy of blue and an armed dragon, and then magic's gonna resolve and add a bunch of Ojamas to our hand. We're gonna attack again with Ojama Blue, and then we're gonna get the double simulation, which is needed for the combo. Now the last Ojamatch we're just gonna get from our Ojama Blue another Ojama name and the final Ojamatch. You want to make sure your hand before entering main phase 2 has 1 Ojamatch and 2 simulation with 5 Ojamas in your field, hand, grave, usually your grave in hand. And then we're going to use our first simulation to go into the XYZ-Dragon Cannon. We're going to pop some cards that are threatening during our turn or our opponent's turn. And then we're going to use our second simulation to make VW. We're going to use our final Ojamatch to normal summon our Dragon level 3. Very important, do not search level 3 until you're ready to normal summon him, because you're only running 1, and that would be really bad to have him glued to your hand when you need him on the field to, you know, resolve your combo. You could, if you wanted to though, if you did mess up or you like hard drew the level 3, you could tribute summon the level 5 once you make your VWXYZ, because he doesn't need to be on the field in order to fuse him. So do keep that in mind. But yeah, we're just gonna level up with the armed dragons. We go Thunder level 5, trigger 7 because why not, and then go into 7, and then we activate 5 because I'm just goofing around at this point. And then we're gonna summon the 10, which is a big Trident boy. We're gonna clear the rest of the field, and then I'm gonna go into the Armed Dragon Catapult Cannon, and I just get to shotgun his effect, pretty much nuke everything. He's gonna summon Unizombie, which he can't activate because it's banished, and he's gonna use Ready Fusion. I'm just gonna pop the extender and win. Our second game was against UA. Honestly, I have no idea what this deck does or what it's capable of. It's a very new concept to me, but I do know that I have the absolute crack in my hand right now. I got the Rescue Cat, which is arguably the best normal in the deck. We have an Ojamatch plus an Ojama Yellow to help extend through a hand trap. We have Pot of Prosperity to bait out a hand trap. We have Dark Ruler No More to just shut down the board. This is like the best hand you could ever ask for in Ojama Catapult Cannon. So we're going to activate our Dark Ruler No More. Now the cool thing about Cat is Cat, while it's a little bit more susceptible to Impermanent Veiler than Ojama Blue, it gets you a lot more advantage, and you can actually play around Nibiru if you use Rescue Cat. So that's why I use Rescue Cat if I have the Ojamatch to back him up in case he gets hit with a Veiler or something. But we're going to summon the 2 blues, which is 3 summons. We're going to attack with our first blue, and we're going to, of course, search for the regular combo. We grab Ojamagic and Ojamatch, pitching the magic, getting another blue and an armed dragon. Magic's going to resolve. That's our third summon, or fourth summon, by the way. And then we're going to attack again with blue and get 2 simulations, and we're going to attack with our last blue to get more Ojamatches. So on our 5th summon, instead of going for another blue, we already had 2 blues on the field without Ojamatch, so I can summon Ojama Red. So this is the last point where my opponent could possibly Nibiru me. We're going to summon all these Ojamas out and make a 4 material Apollousa. Then we're going to use Ojamassimilation to reveal the XYZ. And then we're going to do a really cool play and chain the match, sending the Ojamassimilation I activated as cost because I needed a extra discard, and that was the way to do it. So you know, just keep in mind you can pitch spells for cost with your Ojamatch while activating them. Kind of like the Rocket Tracer quick launch rule thing. But yeah, we're gonna do our XYZ, we're gonna shuffle, draw some cards because I didn't have to use the prosperity. I'm just popping the quick effect monsters. That's kind of the important thing to get rid of before slamming your catapult onto the field. We're gonna get our VW, we're just gonna level up our armed dragon now. I feel like I'm playing solitaire at this point, but you know what, we're chazzing it up, so it's totally based. And we're gonna use our lightning to get back to level 3, which is why I said you only need to play the one level 3, because I can activate it if I want to without playing multiples and bricking. We're gonna banish that one card, and we're gonna go into Catapult Cannon. I go into Link Spider just in case he's gonna like try and kill me with that 0-attack Ojama laying around, and then we're gonna banish everything during his turn. Now he still has some more plays because this deck apparently doesn't overcommit, but that's what the Thunder level 10's there for. So I could just pop whatever is threatening me, and then I'm just kind of a dick at this point. I'm activating effects to activate effects, but yeah, we have game. Alright, this was like one of my losses, and I feel like I could have prevented this from happening, possibly. I'm playing against DDD, like most decks in this game. I don't know what the hell they're doing, but they are comboing off. Now, we have an okay hand. We do have Rescue Cat if you want to play through Nib. Blue is probably safer. We got Prosperity to dig for what we need. I'm hoping to see like a board breaker, and we do see a board breaker, so we see the Dark Ruler no more. I go for the Prosperity dig for 6. We bait out an Ash. I'm feeling really good. I'm feeling so confident that I summon Rescue Cat, and that was the bane of my existence right here, because Effect Veiler works on Rescue Cat while it doesn't work on Ojama Blue. Now, to be fair, he could have just held on to the Effect Veiler probably. I didn't have really the opportunity to make an Ojama Red before committing to my Armed Dragon XYZ play, so regardless, I wasn't getting my combo out, but it definitely was smarter to summon Blue and at least wipe his field. And then I probably could have won the duel, but regardless, I'm a dumbass and I summon Rescue Cat and get Veilered and punished for it. So this duel is just to show you, like, you know, be a little bit careful when deciding between Blue and Rescue Cat. Rescue Cat does protect you from the Biru, and it does get you a lot more advantage, but sometimes the Blue is the correct play. Well, that's all I have for the video. My overall thoughts on this deck, it's a lot of fun. It's very consistent. It usually robs game 1. It does struggle in a best of 3 environment, making it a bit gimmicky and more of like a casual deck, but at least it's a casual deck that can win, and it's a casual deck that doesn't brick. Which is kind of crazy because, like, there's so many vanillas, you would think the deck would brick nonstop, but literally all you need to see is Blue and then you're good, so that's the cool part about it. Okay, I'm gonna head out now. See you guys later. Peace.